So I thought let's just power up this HP4261 LCR meter and we'll see what happens. I've changed the jumper around in the back there to set it for 240 volt, and I haven't powered up yet. It's ready to go, and we'll see what happens when I push the power button. Now I notice the switch here is a bit sticky, so I might have to look at that, but right, here he goes. Don't know what it's doing, but the display is obviously not working correctly. Jumping around between ranges, it looks like. So I don't know, display is working there. Maybe it's some error message or something that's got on the screen. So capacitance looks like it's trying to work. Inductance, okay. So switching between types. Let's put on one of them. Okay. Power or capacitance and resistance is now showing something, but still flicking around. So it's interesting when on that on the initial power up, it did those weird characters on display there. Maybe it's got an issue with capacitors or something like that. I'm hoping this dirt comes off. It feels like it's raised, so it might just be sticker residue. So okay, well it hasn't gone bang, which is what I was half expecting to happen. There's no smoke come out of it yet. Let's stick something on it and see if it actually measures anything. Oh, it's got some crappy lead here. The problem with these is it's got these recessed banana terminals, and so the standard shrouded type you would get on proper LCR leads can't plug in. So I'm going to have to probably improvise something here, but we'll see if this works okay or not. They're strapped together anyway. It's got short end jumpers across them. So let's put this on resistance. I'll measure that first. I've got a couple of resistors here. Let's just zero it if we can. How do I zero this? That one? No. DC bias off. I've got no idea how to use this thing. It's doing something. It'll be milliohms it's measuring, so alright, let's see what comes up. So here it is measuring stuff, but not sure about the zeroing part of it. What's this? I've got a 1 mega ohm and a 10 ohm. Yeah, I think it's well grabbed. Good question, I don't know. Just jumping around a bit. So let's try the other one. No idea. This read the manual. Supposed to measure up to 10 mega. Yeah, 1000 milliohm to 10 mega ohm. So let's put this in auto instead. See if that does anything. Maybe it's dirty, I don't know. Oh, no, it's flipped on mega and then. Maybe the switches are a bit dirty. Let's just give these a bit of a clean up, hopefully. Or it could have an issue, I don't know. It's like it's trying to figure it out. So, looks like the resistance isn't working, but that's kind of as expected. I'm surprised it's doing anything actually. But it is actually trying to measure. Let's measure this one again. Yeah, it's not happy. So yeah, it's definitely got issues. Yeah, so okay, so resistance doesn't work. I'll try something else. Okay, so I've got some brand new capacitors here. Let's just chuck these on. Let's see if these do anything. Got it set to 120 Hertz. These are what? Dumber. We're getting some trouble jumping around the range just trying to figure out what's going on. So it's trying to measure, but it's just not quite there. What are these? These are 10 UF. Yeah, not much luck there, was there? Like I said, I've got no idea how to use this thing yet. But so far, no luck. Okay, so well, we'll try an inductor next. Okay, so this is a 10 microhenry inductor, just something quite small. So I've got lying around, so let's hook this up. And again, it's jumping around just trying to figure out what it is. So I was kind of hoping that one of the modes would actually work, but doesn't look like that's the case. I mean, it's probably something common to all modes. So yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, that's going to be a good project for later on. Alright, so I'm working on this HP4261A. Finally started working on this project. I started going through the cards. I pulled each card out, done some basic checks, tested capacitors, that kind of thing. All these capacitors down here will look like the power supply card. There's leakage signs on the end here, and the ends are bulging. So I've ordered new caps for that. Same as this one here, 35 volt, 1000 volt, 1000 UF for those three. Those two there. Was it those two? Sorry, those three there are 2200 UF 16 volt, so I've ordered those as well. You can see it like there's a brown mark around the end there, so it's like a bit of leakage. And this one here, it's got a bit the same brown mark there, and the cap is looking slightly bulged. You can see it there, hopefully. Very slightly bulged, and the other ones down there are doing the same thing, so I'm just going to replace the whole lot. All the other caps seem okay. So I'm just going through now is this card here, which is the second card in. I've already done the first display card, there's not much on there. There's a few caps and a bunch of ICs. Cleaned up all the edge connector, sprayed a bit of contact cleaner in there and moved things in and out a few times to try and clean the terminals up in case there's any dirt, build up on the actual edge connector cards, which are, if I tip them up you can see down there. Right, so I was going through testing this card and I found that there's a couple of anomalies here. Now I'm going through just randomly testing parts as I do, because you never quite know what you're going to stumble across. Now this transistor right here, on there, it's the same type as the others, but I'm getting a different voltage measurement. This one's measuring 1 volt across its legs, 1 volt or 0.9, whereas the other one's doing like 0.73 and something like that. So in diode test mode, that's why I just go through just doing a diode test and see how they go. So that's measuring a bit strangely. Yeah, and I think there was one over here as well, which I thought was a bit odd. Maybe was that one? That one there, I think it was. I've gone through teaching all the diodes themselves, all the diodes, okay, but just that one transistor right there I'm getting odd readings from. So it may be nothing, but I'm suspicious. You can see it's actually had some rework done. So if you look here, there's some flux residue. Maybe you can see it, I don't know. And here as well, you can see it's got a bit of stuff left. But so it's had 2 transistors replaced on this card already. So I am not sure what the status of this card is. Obviously someone's tried to repair this already, or it's had a repair in the past which has been okay, but this isn't working properly right now. So, but that transistor there is reading strangely, so I'm suspicious of that one. I don't know what it is yet. I'm going to have to make a note. I don't have the service manual open, which I need to open up, so I'll find out what that transistor number is. Okay, so I've opened the service manual up for this thing, and that is Q21, and these are actually all MOSFETs. So strange readings are kind of normal, so I'll just ignore that for the time being, and move on. I haven't found any other issues on this card, so I'll just clean this edge connector up as well, like I did the other one. I've already given it a bit of a polish up actually. Stick some contact cleaner on there and shove it in a few times and see if it does anything, and move on to the next card. See if I can find anything on that one. You have to excuse any noise you may hear with the power tools going in the background. That's my house being fixed. Yay. Anyway, so what I'm doing, I've got this little fiberglass brush here, and I'll just run across the terminals like this. You don't have to do it much, just to take any oxidization off. And I've actually found in the past that this is actually a repaired piece of test gear. That's had an issue. Just doing that has actually been enough to fix it. So you know, don't rule this out as an issue of what could be wrong with something. But you have to do it gently, because these are gold plated, so you don't want to wear all that off. You just have to do just enough to get it clean and shiny again, to get the build up of oxidation off there. Alright, it's not too bad there. I'll do this side as well. And you can see this, like there's maybe some residue here, or is it just off my hands because I've been holding it? Maybe it is. So I'm watching out for any previous rework as well, and I haven't really seen much apart from those couple of transistors on that A3 card. So there's not been anything obvious, you know, nothing too bad. So it looks like it's been pretty much virgin condition apart from a couple of little repairs on there. So hopefully it's actually, you know, pretty much untouched, because untouched is what you want when you're trying to fix something, because you want it to be able to trace it to what's going on, not just what someone else may have left behind, or someone else's bad repair, or whatever it may be. Okay, I think that's just about there. There's slightly more here. Right. This one's a bit more oxidised than the rest, but it's okay. Right, so I'll just go through now and test all the parts with my diode test mode and see what comes out of that. Alright, so I'm just going to go through and just test these transistors here. I just want to show you what I do. Because they're all the same, in the same kind of circuit, there's like switching sections, so I'll just go through and just do comparisons and make sure they all look the same. Now on my meter I can set the threshold for the beeper, so I've got it set at 0.8 volts right now, so anything below that should beep and anything above that won't. It's just a convenient level. Okay, so we're good. Yep. Yep. It should all be exactly the same. If something's different, then it could be the circuit around it, or there's an issue with the parts, so that's okay. Now these ones have got the gates marked. There's nothing on 0.2 there. Same. So as long as they're the same, I can say yeah, they're probably fine. You know, it's unlikely to have them all blow in exactly the same way and exhibit the same symptom. So as long as they're all behaving the same way, it's a nice quick and dirty check to make sure that it looks okay. 0.7 there. 0.7 there. These are MOSFETs, so there might be differences. and it is not doing it. Pointing that way. So let's check that again. So that one there and that one there are different. The rest are all the same. So these two, I need to just look at the circuitry and make sure, but they are the same part. I think they're MOSFETs. Yeah, those are MOSFETs. So that could be why those two there are being a bit strange compared to the rest. They can exhibit that kind of behaviour, but it makes me suspicious if I've got differences. So I remember Q20 on our first board. I should actually make notes of these actually, shouldn't I? Let's do that. Right, so A3, Q20, I think this is A4, I think it is. Does it have a marking on there anyway? It's got 2 marks on it. No, I'm just carrying numbers of those. Don't know. I'm guessing that's A4. I should actually look at the manual. Let's go and look at the manual. Okay, this is the A5 process amp board. So, which transistor was it again? Oh, MOSFETs. I've forgotten. That one here. So, third one in. Oh, it's all responding now. That one there. Third one. First one and third one are different now. It's changed. See, this is the nature of MOSFETs, isn't it? First one and third one, go for those. What are they? They are Q14 and Q8, I think. Zoom in a bit, it's a bit small. Q14 and Q9. So this is A5 board, Q9 and Q14. Suspicious. And I'll double check that board number, that first one. I thought it was A3. That one might be 3, that might be 4. Hold on. Yeah, the previous board is A4, not A3. Okay. So the A4 board, which I looked at previously, is the oscillator range resistor divider thing, whatever it is. So that's probably okay. I was going to carry on doing other tests. I haven't tested everything yet, so I'll carry on with that. I won't bother boring you with that too much. Okay, so I was testing around this board here. Everything seems okay, apart from these 2 capacitors here, which I missed them my first time around. It's quite small ones, 2.2 UF. And when I test them with my trusty tester here, I don't get a sensible reading. $95 UF. No. 90 UF. That doesn't seem right, does it? And when I try and do it with my multimeter, that doesn't even bring back a reading. It just can't make sense of it. So I'm suspicious about those 2 caps there. They could be bad. I wonder if they're tantalum caps rather than electrolytic actually. They could be tantalum. They look very similar. It's a bit hard to tell. That could be an issue. Okay, so I've got that capacitor there popped out now. Just release one end. We'll see what we get from retesting. Doesn't see it as a capacitor, does it? Oh, there we go. Bad connection. 2.1.02. That looks fine. That looks absolutely fine. So it's probably the circuitry around it which is affecting it. So I'm going to pop that back in again. I'm going to assume the other one's the same situation and move on. So this card here has got very little YG on it. It's got a crystal here. I can probably just check to make sure everything actually oscillates, but there's very little else going on. Just a bunch of ICs. I've had a look at the solder joints in every card already, and they all look kind of okay. I don't know what the switch does yet. No idea. I guess it's N and R, N and test. Sorry, RM. I don't know. Maybe it's for testing the boards. So I was going to give this one a polish up as well and put it back in and carry on. So yeah, so I haven't actually found any real problems yet. Just suspicions, but that's it. You know, nothing really of concern so far, which in a way is a bit disappointing, because you always want to find something obvious to say, oh, that's what it is, you know, and then move on. But nothing yet. Subtle faults are not nice faults, I have to say. I might have to end up having a result to going through the whole procedure in the service manual and testing it all fully that way instead. Okay, so I've reseated all the cards to make sure they're all clean. I've even removed the transistor in the back there, which I shall put on screen just there. I've unbolted that from the back, reseated that, put some cleaner spray on that as well to try and clean it up, and so far there's almost no difference. I think it is behaving slightly differently, but it's still not good. So it's that hasn't fixed the problem. So I need to keep on looking and see what else is going on. So I do know that there's capacitors here which are ballooned, and that's slightly bulged, so is a bulge. So it could be power supply noise. It could well be just that's all it is, but I don't know yet. Interesting, there's like a socket here. It's marked J1 on this board. Nothing plugged into it. I'm guessing it's for an option or something. I don't know. I really should read the manual on that. But I think once I get these capacitors replaced, then I'll have a better idea if it's something more serious than that or not. So I haven't found any serious problems. I found some suspicious components because the values weren't consistent across them, but that's about it. I've got to measure these power supply voltages properly. I've done some basic preliminary tests and there's voltages there. I just need to make sure that I actually measured them correctly.